great semester, rounded out with a national championship in NACE. But other tournaments we did pretty well in too. That one's just obviously a standout, is national champions. And then the next semester, we once again made it to the NACE Grand Finals, unfortunately falling to Maryville 3-1, and also losing to them again in CECC to place top 4 with some of the top colleges.
Well, just about every journey has to have its first step, and that's what we have here in the Gridiron Rivals match here tonight. It's a best of, it's Overwatch 5v5, and Doc's keys to the game for this game will be position your supports, tank and DPS, please move together, know the new cooldowns, and of course remember that tempo wins maps. It's brought to you by Drop-In Gaming, the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. And I was saying we need to start off on the first step of your journey in the fall season tonight. That will start out with just a best of 3 match starting on Control. And it looks like what we have up here is Oasis. That's what we're gonna start out here on tonight. So tell us, what are your thoughts as a player on Oasis?
Well, Oasis is a very, versatile map. You see the map in question, University. You see a lot of rush comps there, but then on maps with this jump pad, you can see some Winston play slightly slower, taking angles. So it really shows how
5, 4, 3, 2,
flexible you are as a team.
Round 1.
Now it looks like we are jumping into the gameplay as both teams go charging toward the first point. Here we go, the first Gridiron Rivals match of fall 2023. Boise State characteristically is going to be in the blue while we have Washington on the red. Boise State already making their way toward the point, taking out the turret that has been set up. Washington is getting rid of Boise's turret as Boise has decided to actually bring out a Torb, interestingly enough. And hey, it's going to prove dividends as they've already taken out the Sojourn and much more than Sojourn. How about the whole team? Boise State starts the season with a team wipe.
Yeah, Boise State's comp, much more sustained with the BAP and Alari, the Lucio on the side of WSU. They're going to have to rush in a little faster, try and find a pick before Moose and Plato can get a pick.
Plato now setting up on the second story, overlooking the point. It looks like that's where Washington is going to try to make their way. Plato is able to take out Sneaky, so the tank is gone, but Boise State is sustaining some damage up their self. We see Moose going down low on health, but is going to be able to heal up. Boise State maintaining their position on the point as Washington is trying to make any sort of gain weight through these choke points. Not really finding anything, but maybe here they're going to be charging after the Horsey, but Clear is just holding down this choke, already taking out the Sojourn, and the tank just falls for Washington, kind of charged into the point all by himself, and then Boise State just collapsed around him.
Yeah, you saw Clear go in on the rotate there, the Lucio, causing them to get a little split up. Clear was able to find a pick because of that, and Sneaky fell because he had no supports with him.
Washington might be making their first moves toward taking this point. Chosen bites the dust, and this point is contested. Washington actually managed to take the point sneakily from Boise State. And now it's starting to charge up as they're going up past 10. Boise trying to take it back. Large Bagel taking a whole lot of damage, but is going to be able to sustain. And now we see Clear hanging on his ultimate. Maybe this can be the first step of something beautiful. Boise State getting held to the point. This could be the choice. Look at Sneaky going all the way through. Large Bagel so low on health, but he's going to be bailed out by the rest of the support. Going to be able to heal himself up. Moose doing a great job. The turret actually takes out that Lucio. Boise State takes back the point in their favor.
Yeah, you see Washington trying to take advantage of that speed boost, going in fast, but every time Boise State is prepared on the angles, able to focus on whoever goes in. We'll see Boise State with 4 ults. I expect them to go early. They can make this the last fight.
We'll just have to see. Things are going to start out with the Bastion ult. Look out from above. Here comes a double, and Washington is devastated after that one. Large Bagel is going to be taken out, but the rest of Boise State is holding down the point. The overtime timer is ticking down, and it looks like Boise State has secured themselves the first stage.
We do have Plato, Boise State's resident Bastion one trick. So he knows the calls to make, calls for clear to go for Orisa ult as he Bastion ults. Gives Washington no chance to escape.
Ready for battle.
And as we've just seen, you know, with Overwatch 2 just having one tank, that tank is so important in how it's maneuvered. You would know, actually, what am I doing talking up here? You're the tank main here, Matt. Tell us about how important the tank is in Overwatch 2.
Yeah, once your tank goes down, it's just so hard to win a team fight. It's such an oppressive role at taking angles, forcing them away. And Washington, they keep losing their tank. They're not following up with the tank, causing the Orisa to go down early.
We'll see if things can turn around on the second stage. State and Washington just feeling each other out trepidatiously. No one touching the point yet. They're going to be fighting for the high ground, and Washington takes Boise by surprise, moving down, taking out Plato. We'll see if the momentum can continue as Clear is trying to get this bastard with the javelin. See you later. Back to the scrappy. Boise is back in this fight, but can they take the point? It has unlocked, and there's a whole lot of fighting going off to the side. A lot of deplorables have been taken out, but we want the true eliminations right now. Sneaky so low on health, can he get away? And their Sojourn bites the dust, followed by one of their supports. Boise has truly won this team fight, and now their score starts to go up.
Yeah, the Lucio in this team comp, I'm not a fan of it. It causes Washington to have to play so fast, and if they mess up their cooldowns, Boise State's able to set up the angles and take advantage of those cooldowns so easily compared to an Alari who helps set up angles.
I also have to point out, I am very much a fan of Plato choosing the Lego Bastion as well. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, there's only one option when you're playing Bastion. You got to go all Lego. Now there's going to be another Bastion. Amp Matrix is going to be dropped down on the high ground for Washington, followed by a beat, and Clear is the first one to be taken out. Plato also hurting very much on health, is taken out. Sneaky now following that out by taking a large bagel back to start. And now Washington has won their first team fight, and they're going to start building up some score.
Washington getting some cleanup picks at the end, knowing that they're up. But the Orisa almost falls.
Amp Matrix now thrown down by Boise State, and the bomb right through there. Oh, look out. Run away, Plato. There is fire from above. He manages to get away, and that's going to be a Bastion ult spent by Washington to no avail. Boise State is moving their way on the point. Look at all this space that Washington is giving up to them. Boise State's just going to take the point back. Now it's contested, and they just do it. They do it based on positioning. But beyond positioning, Boise State is also getting a good amount of eliminations themselves, taking about SME and Noxians. Boise State now looking good past 50.
Yeah, Boise State here looking strong with 3 ults. The Alari ult, you know, so good at just helping clean people up immediately, especially when they only have the BAP immortality to keep them up. It's going to be hard to survive this.
Oh my goodness, that is a hallway of death chosen with a triple leading toward the team-wide Boise State. Bask in the glory of that ace and get ready to fight another day.
Yeah, Washington just had nowhere to position with all 3 of those ults coming out. They tried to rush past it, but they just had everything prepared.
Looks like a slight miss on the javelin. There is enough time for just one more team fight. If Washington can actually make its way toward the point, don't see on the readout that anyone has actually touched the point. Clear now has his ultimate. It's going to bring it out, charge up the power. The Lantern gets dropped, however, allowing Washington to tank through all of this. And the overclock being brought out by their Sojourn as well is just going to tear right through the Broncos and give Washington the point back.
Yeah, that Bastion's so good. One of the only heroes that can actually kill Orisa in her current state. You know, once he goes turret form, the amount of damage he pumps out is so hard to sustain through. Washington here with the Lucio ult. probably looking to set up close, trying. Oh, but he gets picked.
That could be the green light for Boise State to move in. Clear has made his way back toward the point. Now charging in, it's just melted! That Orisa was melted away in a blink of an eye. Large Bagel getting the final hit on that, and everyone's pushed off the point. Boise takes State, takes it back, and gets the first of the best of 3. And we see the play of the game is going to go over to Chosen. And yeah, well, it had to be this. I mean, when you get everyone in a narrow hallway with no way to go, you just throw down everything. The floor is lava, the air is lava, everything, just go back to start as far as they're concerned.
Boise State, you know, this is a very comfortable meta for them. You know, we have Moose, who used to just only play Torbjorn, and then Torbjorn gets a buff. Plato, who was only playing Bastion, Bastion gets a buff. So this is really an ideal DPS meta for Boise State, and they are staying on those heroes, looking strong on them.
You can see the Broncos right up there on stage, basking in their victory. Now just need one to claim it. As Chosen, we're going to play 3 stages. So, you know, even if Boise State close this out early for the night, we might just play the 3rd stage because Gridiron Rivals events are just kind of more exhibition matches just for the fun and in the spirit of good sportsmanship as well. Now Washington is going to get the choice of stage. I have to wonder if we're following the traditional format where we go to hybrid, and if we go to hybrid, we know in 99.99% of the time that means King's Row. But we can always be surprised. Sometimes we see Numbani. On an off chance, we have seen Eichenwald be brought out every now and then. But Matt, if you're in Washington's shoes and you're looking to take this back, what stage is calling out to you right now?
You know, seeing Washington pick that Lucio, it feels like it could be a comfort pick for them. And one of the best maps for Lucio, and just the obvious map people choose, I do believe it's going to be King's Row. Allows them to close the angles. It's a super tight map. The Lucio can help with the rotates. Maybe force out one of the angles from Boise State this time around.
Yeah, King's Row, I mean, you just can't go wrong on it, and it might just give us the nail-biting match that we are looking for, because we saw Washington take back the point a good number of times, especially in the 2nd stage. I think Washington, when the second map of Oasis was kind of a lot different than the first. They took it back more times. It was a bit more exciting back and forth. And King's Row normally goes all the way until the final checkpoint. I mean, the first 2 are taken, even in a lot of the blowouts that I've seen that have been 3-0s in a best of 5. It always goes to the final point in King's Row, and that gives us very memorable, nail-biting moments. It's all about the factory. But it might not just be King's Row. It might actually been Eichenwald. We have been fooled. So it does go over to Eichenwald. I did tease it a little bit about the beginning. So now, Matt, tell us about your thoughts on this stage.
On Eichenwald, you know, I don't think the Lucio is going to be super strong. I think angles are so strong. It's almost playing into Boise's strengths with the Alari BAP composition. They're going to be able to control so much of the map with so few resources.
Now we're just waiting for the final few people to load into the stage and make their selections on what heroes they want to pick. Looks like Red is going to be attacking first. We can also take a look at the lineup that we have for Boise State, or at least some of the varsity players that are going to be playing this season. Obviously, we see you there, Matt.
Yeah,
but tell us a little bit about some of the other players that are playing and what you're looking forward to seeing from them as this semester goes on.
Loading in here. Boise State just on their bread and butter. Washington, you know, they see the Torb, they see the Bastion. Seems like they're going to be picking the Genji to try and deal with that, close the distance a little more. Though the Zarya I'm worried about because she can get melted so fast by that Bastion. Those bubbles are you know, like air bubbles in a package. They're not lasting.
Quick javelin thrown that goes right into the Zarya's bubble, actually. As Washington is going to bring out. Look at this, though. That is a Genji that wants everything in the whole world. He's trying to be bailed out by that Zarya bubble. He's going to try to get away. What am I even seeing here? He's diving in, getting pulled back by his supports through the life grip. I don't know what I'm seeing here, Matt, but one thing is for sure, I'm seeing a whole lot of eliminations be piled up by Boise State.
Yeah, you see Moose there draws so much vision aggression as he just goes in there. But because of that, the Zarya on Washington was able to get taken out by Clear as both supports were distracted by Moose. And the Zarya was already in. Great distraction from him.
Well, now we're going to go to take two, and Plato brings out his turret form, trying to find just one target, but it looks like Washington is going to no! Instead, one of the, oh, it's just something to place down. I was hoping that we'd see another Miracle Bomb be thrown out by Plato, but it looks like we'll just have to get eliminations the old-fashioned way. Boise State is trying to find some sort of flank angle in this archway to keep Washington at bay. Again, turret form is brought out by Plato, throws the bomb, but the Zarya bubbles and the Tree of Life just placed down is helping Washington gain ground inch by inch. Bastion ult is going to be used by Plato, as well as Clear using his to take out the Zarya, and once the tank goes down, the rest soon follow. Washington is going to be sent back to start after a protracted fight.
Yeah, we saw that Life Weaver come out from the side of Washington, which I do think is a really strong ultimate this patch, you know, giving you up to 100 overhealth. But you didn't see Washington successfully able to play around it. They got eliminated before they could even reach it. Boise State here, only 2 ults. Plato finds that pick, allowing them to build some more.
Washington hasn't really been able to make it through this first archway. Gonna try again. They've got basically all of just about. Oh my goodness. Can they do anything? Is the question. Boise is just doing such a good job of holding them. Sneaky goes very low on health, is going to manage to heal back up. Chosen is going to rip his ult. Just one ult by Chosen plus, oh my goodness! Oh, Washington finds a triple against the Broncos. There were just 2 left trying to hold on. And hey, they're doing a valiant effort. They're able to take out the Genji. We still don't have any tick being brought out against Washington. With just 2 left, Boise look like they might have been able to hold the point, but they still got to deal with this Zarya. She goes into her bubble, and now with the rest on respawn, Boise is going to be able to walk away from that one. And maybe just try to find a few staggers off this Bastion ult.
Yeah, Boise State, they're playing that so well once they saw that Grav combo come out. They were playing so split that the Grav only ended up getting 2, and they used 2 ultimates on it. While the rest were taking angles, able to get some picks of their own. Chosen almost at another Alari ultimate, and the window immediately finds a pick.
Plato also being able to take out Sneaky. The Zarya has had a tough time making her way toward the point. And that last push from Washington is going to leave them with no ticks on the board. So Boise is only going to Boise State is only going to have to take a short casual walk to the first point. We'll be able to wrap this up and call this stage a victory for the Broncos.
Initiating match.
That was a bit of an unexpected lift that Clear got off of that flower. But hey, just casually steps off of it, doesn't let it phase him in the slightest. Now, do you think Boise State, will they be able to take this in their first push, do you think?
Boise State has been looking strong, even though you see Washington. They don't really know how to deal with Boise State's comps. It is kind of, you know, considered a cheese composition, you know, the Bastion and the Torb at the same time. Not super common. catches a lot of teams off guards, and it seems like Washington doesn't know what to do into it.
And I do enjoy me some cheese, but Boise State might just go, is just going to stay on this bastion. I also see them hovering over a Widow. In a Widow, we might see her peek out, you know, just a little bit. I mean, especially if we were playing Kings Row, you know, you take a few peeks out on Widow just to see if you can't get an early pick. It's a bit harder on this stage, so we might just see the Widow be stuck with.
We do see a similar comp coming out on Washington's side. They have added a Bastion to their arsenal. Very great to combo with that Life Weaver. But still, it's going to be hard to hold this for 4 minutes on the clock.
Boise State deciding to go off to the right. This Genji, though, is looking for a pick, and they're going to rotate up to the upper level, just try to mow him down all at once before he can be too big of a problem. He's bailed out by that Zarya bubble. Now Boise State making their way through the computer shop, trying to find any sort of person to focus on. Right now, everything looks just a bit split up for the Broncos in terms of their target practice, so I'm not seeing too much damage being placed onto any one person. This Genji again moves in, but he's playing very well with the Zarya tank, and those bubbles are being called out at very good points.
Yeah, both teams kiting these Bastion forms quite well, but Moose gets 2. That's just enough to end the fight right there.
And
2
that's
is Widowmaker.
one and done.
See Bastion hitting the gritty on cart right now. Very well played.
We'll see who the play. Yeah, this had to be this had to be the one. I thought for sure that Washington was going to take the point off of this.
That Grav combo with the Alari ult, there's only so much they can do to survive.
Well, a big thank you to our sponsor, Idaho Central Credit Union. They're the ones who bring us the player of the game throughout the season, and they believe a great player makes a team more successful, just like how Idaho Central helps its members achieve financial success. So thank you to Idaho Central Credit Union for being a great sponsor of Boise State Esports. Alrighty, so looks like we just got one more stage to follow up on. Doc just checking in because remember, you know, we play 3 stages, win or lose. We're just looking to have a good time here. And so now we go on to, I don't know, I was just told 3 stages, so I don't know if it's going to be push or if it's going to be escort.
I also have seen in a couple tournaments, I don't know if it's in this, the new game mode. Forgot the name of it, but it's like Hardpoint. That could end up being the new game mode that's played here.
Hey, if you're looking to shake things up, you know, you just bring in something new. Now, of course, these gridiron matches are for fun. If we were keeping score here, though, Boise State would have secured victory by now. And now it looks like they're just deciding who to place in on the stage. Is there anyone they want to rotate out? Anyone they want to rotate in? I'm confident in making one prediction, though. I don't think Matt Merck is going to be playing at all this game. Something tells me I'm really confident in predicting that.
Yeah, I have a slight feeling I will not be getting subbed in for this final map.
Well, I do appreciate that. It at least spreads some of the work out here, so I don't have to solo cast this because I would run my voice box out in 2 minutes if I didn't get any sort of break. But here I am complaining where we've got the actual players ready to load into. Also, just in case you didn't know, we are still in the throes of summer. It has just winding down the final day of August, and the AC isn't on too. So the competition is heating up in more ways than one, you could say.
Yeah, especially with all those computers on stage. I'm sure the players are feeling hot. And I'm not just talking about their gameplay.
Yep. Well, we'll see what Doc can do as he's just given a final few words of encouragement, probably making the final decisions on the roster. Between all the stages, though, all of the gameplay modes, what stage would you most like to see?
That's a tough one. I'm a huge fan of Escort. You know, I like the options it brings to the table. There's so many comps you see on Escort. You see, even on Circuit Royale, it's so diverse now that you don't even see that as only a sniper map. You see Rush played on it a lot. And so, yeah, I really like the Escort maps.
So any Escort map, and it is not going to be any Escort map. Instead, we are heading back over to, we're heading over to a push stage instead.
On this push in particular, you do see sometimes that Lucio is played. So once again, makes me feel like Washington might be trying to play that. But I don't know. It seemed like Boise State knew what they were doing when they were against the Lucio. So we'll have to see.
One thing I've noticed too on push, or just a lot of the new stages on Overwatch 2, is almost all of them have trolleys on it. There's a trolley on this one, there's one in Brazil, there's one in Toronto as well. So, I don't know. Maybe Blizzard just went on a trolley ride and really enjoyed it, but they put as many as they could in the new stages for Overwatch 2. That has absolutely nothing to do with any sort of strategic gameplay, but I thought I'd bring it up nonetheless.
You know, the comp I would like to see Washington run. I feel like it could work well into the slow, kind of bigger hit scan Boise State's playing is maybe a Sim Genji with their Lucios. Close the distance, have that reflect, have that teleport. You see them coming out on Soldier and Hanzo?
Looks like that was Washington we were taking a look at. Instead, looks like Boise is bringing out the Far Mercy.
Much different comp here from Boise State. Gonna play even slower. This is just gonna be a battle of attrition on who's gonna get the first pick or who's gonna get bored first and end up dying.
Well, Boise, just based on positioning, is gonna get the payload moving in their direction. Moose finds the first pick off this Far Mercy, trying to dodge through the shots that the Washington's DPS is pushing on him, and he gets taken right out of the air thanks to that Soldier who took a wide flank completely all the way around, catching Boise in the back. They didn't see that one coming at all.
Yeah, this meta, once you take those angles, they're so strong, they're so hard to force out with the slow tanks of Orisa. You know, the only thing she can really do to contest an off angle is land a spear, and that's it. We'll see. Boise State sticking to the comp, swapping to the Ana, maybe landing some sleeps, some anti-nades. Most importantly, building that nano for Farah.
It's going to be in a, looks like it's going to be an Orisa v Orisa showdown. Bastion's brought out in turret form. The Orisa just gets tanked out. And oh, I see an anti-nade thrown onto that Orisa, and it's bailed out by the Lantern. Thanks to Washington. These supports have done a really good job for Washington, keeping everyone alive. Now the question is, where is Boise State's next journey from here on out? It's going to start with Plato, taking out one of their supports. Clear follows that up by taking down a DPS. So now we've got one tank, one DPS, and no supports left for Washington. And everyone gets eliminated. Boise State takes back the payload and now starts pushing in the other direction.
That Soldier being an absolute menace for Moose, just taking those wide angles. Farah kind of needs to play cover to close the distance, and now that he has Visor, it's going to be even harder for Moose to contest him. But Nano Farah goes,
oh! Whoa! Oh, the barrage in a narrow hallway. Everyone falls like lemmings, and they've only got this poor Baptiste left. Meanwhile, while that all was happening, Boise State has reached the checkpoint. That's forward spawns activated for Boise State. Instead of contest here, though, coming out from the Orisa, just trying to tank it out on the point, but is surrounded in all directions by Boise State. They get the forward spawn checkpoint, now continue on their journey.
We'll see Washington trying to win this using the Alari ult, but the Alari goes down, only getting one. Still two ults up on the side of Washington, and we might see a hero swap after that Alari ult.
Moose being forced to play very close to the ground here in these tight quarters. But I think, like you said, this soldier has been such a threat. Sometimes you need to think out of the box and just fight where you can, where you're not at risk from that DPS. Clear also doing great work on this. Orisa is going to win the tank battle. A whole lot of ground being gained by Boise State. They're approaching 100 meters. Oh, look out!
Mark, the soldier. He lands the
The
direct.
soldier that gave him so much trouble, the lantern bails him out! Oh man, there are fights going all over the place. It seems like we have one-on-one battles everywhere around. Meanwhile, Clear's taking on a 1-on-3 and still managing to survive.
Looks like Plato is setting up an angle on the top right here. Moose top left and Clear in main. If they pull this off correctly. A great maneuver. Moose gets nanoed. Is only able to find 2 before the nano wears off. More directs, though.
Well, I thought for sure with that triple that Moose found for himself, but all it takes is a tank and this SME, this soldier that has been a constant problem for Boise State, to stop their forward journey.
Those close respawns for Boise State, though, are going to allow them to set up before Washington can. Did see the soldier, though, trying to get sneaky. Might push up on Boise State before they even catch it.
And we see another barrage being brought out by Moose. Those have been very high mileage for Boise State. Meanwhile, they're focusing down Washington's tank.
Clear pulls them both off high ground with that ult. Crazy that it can do that. Daydream does end up falling down, but the Hanzo's low. There's no supports alive.
But again, you know, Washington, Boise State takes out one player from Washington, and there's someone else all the way over on the other side of the stage trying to hide, but it's not going to get away with that javelin. That's making quick work.
Washington, though, did get enough cart progress just to make Boise State lose their close respawns and force them back a little bit, force them to play a little slower as Washington stabilize and use their ults here.
Plato now bringing out. Oh, Plato gets taken out by Washington. We also see Tactical Visor brought out by SME. Clear is able to take out Sneaky, their tank, but it's just going to have to be the only consolation Boise State has is this far Mercy is just trying to survive or at least get away without taking too much damage, and not quite successful in that regard.
Yeah, we will see Washington switching on to Tracer and Diva, maybe trying to play a little more divey. You know, they see the far Mercy, they say, hey, the Mercy's going to be on the far all game. Maybe we can just go for the Ana.
Usually for Boise, though, they are able to take back that robot before Washington gets to the forward spawn checkpoint. See the window and the Alari ult be popped by Washington. They're doing everything they can to try to take back this point, and Plato is indeed going to be taken out. And
Who's
Boise
switching
State
onto the
falls one
soldier?
by one. Now Lyric is gone. Plato and Daydream managing to survive that, but now the checkpoint claimed by Washington.
Are seeing an interesting DPS mirror of Soldier Tracer. Diva pretty strong into both of those DPS, able to peel for the pulse bomb, able to peel for the soldier off angle.
Sneaky, who, despite having swapped over the Diva, doesn't look like he's lost any sort of pep in his step. He's getting right in the face of Boise State, but now Moose, followed by Clear, making a big problem for him. Sneaky gets eliminated. Boise State takes back the robot, and now they're getting some much-needed ground back.
Fab
Can they
looking
take
to
out
get a
this
late
map?
pick.
Yes, indeed they can.
Soldier's still behind. Moose trying to see if he can get that exit frag, but the soldier is just hiding.
I mean, Boise State needs to move as a team, but we know that SME loves to take these off ankles and catch Boise State from surprise by behind, so they're looking behind themselves and looking in front at the same time.
You know, Moose marking him, but Moose also has a soldier on him, meaning that SME is getting value by just living, taking 2 out of the fight for the one him that is off angling.
Trying to find this Tracer who recalls on out of there. Bike being taken off to the side while the robot playing by Washington moves its way back to the starting point. We have about a minute and a half left. Boise State fighting a double, taking Washington down to 3. Actions is the next one to fall thanks to Moose. Boise State still maintaining the Mercy pocket, but not on the far Mercy instead. Instead kind of looked at all the work SME was doing on this soldier and said, hey, we want in on the fun too. This, we could see a boosted visor also being brought out by Moose.
I am anticipating that nano visor, but it's going to get peeled for. Hopefully looking to demech the Diva here for Boise State. We see her health pool immediately go back up. The large healing from Ilaria and Baptiste.
They need to see Washington have a full engage. Ilaria ultimate popped and taken right out of the air. It's time for a nano visor and just plows right through Washington. Oh my goodness! I thought Daleth might be able to get out of there. He was holding on, but he eventually falls to Boise State's just pure damage output. Boise State has made all of this ground back up. Now has just about less than 10 seconds as I say this to claim victory.
That soldier ult so strong into Ilaria. You know, the Ilaria feels untouchable flying through the air in creative mode, but the aimbot of the visor allows her to fall.
Oh, Boise State, they're contesting the robot in overtime. The last chance Washington has taken back. Post bomb thrown out is going to take that Alari back to start. Boise is trading blows with Washington back and forth. Who is going to remain on the point? It is very crucially Washington's tank. Sneaky is going to be able to take back this robot. And it's going to be one more team fight, all or nothing for the Broncos.
Once again, though, we see Boise State with those close spawns. They'll be able to take this fight without all of Washington being back. If they demech the Diva, that could just be the fight right there. Falls so low, but is able to get healed up by the Ilari.
Just enough time for Washington to come back and make this a full team point. Anti-nade thrown right onto Sneaky, and that should be enough. Daydream also is able to find the res. And that does it. Boise State with one final javelin onto the Lucio wins 3 for 3.
Great series there. We saw Boise State, Plato, usually a Bastion one trick, Moose, usually a Torb one trick. We saw them show their flexibility just a little bit, especially with this nano visor here.
I mean, it's such a good combination. Even I could pull off a team wipe with it. When you got all that damage and everything's auto-aiming for you, then you're just pressing the left mouse button to win, and that's my favorite type of game to play. I don't know about you. Well, congratulations to the Broncos for winning all of those stages. Matt, as we look back at the series, what overall has stood out to you? Any great plays that really caught your eye and you want to give a shout out before we wrap up Overwatch?
You know, I really liked that barrage on the stairs. We saw the Pharah get nano boosted, and as Washington's trying to rotate, the missiles with that nano boost and the damage resistance, there was nothing they could have done. Got Boise State the point so easily. Just a great play from Moose there.
Well, this is only one of the games that we have here for Gridiron Rivals. We also got Rocket League on deck. I'm looking forward to seeing them. So we'll take a quick break. Thank you, Matt, for joining us, and thank you for joining us on the internet or wherever you're watching, Twitch or YouTube. We're glad to have you here, and we hope to have you after this break. We'll have more Boise State Esports Gridiron Rivals after this.
It's me, your Idaho Central Credit Union app. Rough morning? Is that a mobile deposit? I got this. Beat it, Charlie. We're making money moves here. Cha-ching. And done.
Charlie, come on, outside.
Sorry about the mess. I'd help if I had hands. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket. Dave, it's your Idaho Central app. I know this car got you through college, but check this out. In my credit, your credit score looks good. And there's a great rate on this auto loan so we can score a roomier ride. Whoa, who's driving this thing? The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket. It's me, your Idaho Central Credit Union app. Rough morning. Is that a mobile deposit? I got this. Beat it, Charlie. We're making money moves here. Cha-ching. And done.
Charlie, come on, outside.
Sorry about the mess. I'd help if I had hands. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your Guard adventure.
Growing up in Riggins, we have certain rules we live by. Look both ways before crossing the street. Fishing stories get better the more you tell them. Small town life makes your life anything but small. Never work alone when you go hunting. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena. We're now ready to jump into part two of our Gridiron Rivals match as Boise State goes up against Washington. Hello to everyone in the battleground also right now here at the Boise State Esports Arena in downtown Boise, Idaho. Come on down and join us for our weekday events. We're really happy to have you here and happy to have you play games which are free for all Boise State students. But now back to the matter at hand. I'm your host, Jacob Palmer, and now I am joined by Colin Majunkin to call the Rocket League match of the night. And I am more than ready to see one of the top 16 teams in the world compete. Why do I say top 16 teams? Well, it might have something to do with the last season that Boise State had in Rocket League. Colin, why don't you bring us up to speed on that?
Well, you know, if you were a partaker in our Rocket League content last year, you would know that we have a couple titles under our belt going from last season. We obviously have the Mountain West. We obviously have the CECC. We were a part of CRL. I don't think the team got as far as they would love to, but we did make it to Worlds, which I think the team could take a huge amount of pride in, and they competed really well in that entire thing. So overall, I think the season went well for Boise State. We saw our ups, we saw our downs, but more than anything, we also have two new prospects that I think what you're talking about, facing the top 16 team, also being one of those top teams as well, it's going to make us deadly now, and I'm really excited to see one of those new players start tonight.
Well, we got some familiar faces returning. Of course, we've got Gil and Durtho that is back in the team after having an amazing season. We also got Woozy joining them. There we see Durtho getting ready for his first fight of his sophomore year. Had quite a rookie year. There you can see the three players. They're all in the white, also with Kel on the Overwatch team. I don't know why he's sitting with them. He's kind of the odd one out, but at least we can tell that he's not on the Rocket League team because we have the color coordination.
Might be the new coach. You know, you just never know with these team changes.
Yeah, might just be gain some coaching from the Overwatch team. No, this is how you do it. I know this is the game you play, but
you guys are doing it wrong. Let me take the controller from your hands.
Well, now they're getting ready for their first fight. We'll see if they can start this fall semester off right, going up against Washington. In case you're just joining us, this is our Gridiron Rivals series, and how this works is every fall semester, Boise State, of course, like any university, has their traditional football season, and we take the team that Boise State is going up against in football and challenges their esports team for a few exhibition matches of our own. So we hope everyone in Bronco Nation will be getting ready to watch the football game that's on deck. But until then, we'll see how Rocket League plays out.
Yeah, and Overwatch already taken the first W of the night, so we're looking to Rocket League now. Make us proud, keep our chin held high, and take care of the W. And then hopefully that will lead into the game day with the football team, as well as hopefully they'll end up taking a W when they face Washington this time. But also Rocket League, this is not their first time facing Washington as well. These are not strangers. This is not a stranger's team to them. They faced them at a LAN. They faced them online. I think they got this team relatively dialed in. I don't know if they have any new additions to their team. Quite honestly, I don't know a whole lot of other collegiate teams besides like Maryville that had an entire roster before Matt. But it's a team that I think, especially for our squad, shouldn't be too big of an obstacle for us.
Before we get into the match, though, we want to remind these players how they perform at their best, at their peak potential. And there's only one person that we can go to give us that information. It is our own Doc Haskell, who brings us Doc's keys to the game in Rocket League. Doc's keys to the game in Rocket League. I remember them, though, by memory. It's bump and demo to disrupt. Don't overstay. You're welcome. Try to play off each other. And it's all brought to us by Drop In Gaming, the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. There we go. Well, in Rocket League, it's bump and demo to disrupt. Don't overstay. You're welcome. Do you have any keys that you want to add, Colin?
I do want to add, you can blame it on Kel. I think Kel sabotaged us. Already sabotaging the Rocket League players are there, and now messing with Doc's keys to the game. But yeah, and then I think boost management is a big one to always add into it, as well as the Doc's keys to the game, which I believe that shares its own place in there. I think it gets rotated now and then, but it's always a fundamental key part of the game you can bring up.
Well, we're just a few seconds away from jumping into the action. We'll see how Boise State Rocket League is done after an amazing semester last year and a break here in Rocket League. We'll see if there aren't, too many cobwebs that they got to dust off from the summer, or if they're just back in the groove immediately. Also, while we're waiting for the varsity team to talk about Rocket League, we're talking about Rocket League as a whole for the program. Colin, is right now a coach for a lot of the club-level teams and organizations. How's that side of Boise State Rocket League looking?
So yeah, you were sort of talking about it earlier as well. Just an open event sort of come in certain days to play certain games, and we had a big one for that on Tuesday, which hosted a Rocket League team as well. But sitting at the club level, looking at the two separate teams, looking at the three potentially to compete in ECAC, NACE, and one other unidentified tournament bracket that they're going to participate in. But it's a good group of people, and it's another opportunity for students to participate in something that I think is really, really grateful to be a part of, a competitive environment more or less, for something where you create a team bond, which you don't get a whole lot of the time. You get that with people that you're very familiar with, and you end up growing almost, hopefully, a brother-like bond or whatever that family bond you're looking for. And ultimately, I think that's what they're going to walk away with, as well as hopefully a championship title underneath their belt.
And as Colin alluded to, we're having a multitude of these events taking place all throughout to this week. And if you are still interested in, joining one of our talent search events, then I got to tell you that tomorrow, Friday, we will be having Madden and NBA 2K. And the great thing about those games is all we need is one great player, and we can have a whole program. Our last Madden player, Wasey Williams, national champion in Madden in multiple tournaments. I mean, he made quite a name for himself in Madden during his time with us. So if you think you're good enough, come on down here tomorrow for Madden and NBA 2K. We'll be happy to host you. And then on Saturday, we round it out with our fighting games. That is Super Smash Bros. And Street Fighter. We'll be looking to have you down here, not only for a talent search, but a full-on event. And we've been talking about the great season that Boise State had last year, and this was the culmination of it, making it all the way to CRL Worlds. And we see here they were playing against Amsterdam.
Yeah, this is HV Amsterdam, which they would end up losing to a very, very tight series, but nevertheless, such an amazing experience for this team to experience. And going all the way to taking it all the way to Game 5, and I know for certain this team right right now is looking to run it back and make it back to Worlds and make it back to CRL Championships this time around in the season as well.
I mean, for so many years, CRL has been a main goal. Just qualifying for CRL, the regular season, was such a big goal of our Rocket League program, and we have just flown through. And I think,
Is that a registered firearm? Oh my God.
Yeah, humble as always. Yeah, humble as always. I see Durtho, but I mean, hey, he's. You know, it's good to see also, as you can see, the side-by-side comparison hasn't really fallen out of shape at all, too. I would hope not over the summer. We'll see how the winter goes. But anyway, and then, of course, there is Gil is back. Of course, he wants to run it back, one of the most dedicated players that we have here in the arena, playing rock, paper, scissors with the cameraverse and not really winning in that scenario. So hopefully his Rocket League matches can go a little bit better than his rock, paper, scissors match.
Oh, yeah, 100%. When the camera sticks around a little too longer, makes the intro you had planned a tad bit awkward, but they're looking to replicate it all.
And you
but
see
we get
the
to see the
two
teams
now
already
veterans
ready to go,
ready
in the
to
lobby.
move back into the action
You're a
on stage,
moment
as
away.
well as the one newcomer, Woozy. We'll see how well he slots into this team as we're ready to start. I mean, this is the first game, the first kind of real game, Rocket League game that we have of the fall 2023 semester. Let's start it out on the right foot. Looks like they're loading in, just waiting for the last few players for Washington to jump in. And we'll be off to the races.
And they did participate in a Summerland that we got to watch a little bit of. And I'm really excited to see Woozy out on the pitch right now and see exactly what they're going to bring to the field and the team correlation that they're going to have here. Starting off strong. Already a shot on net. It's going to be low, and Gil's going to be able to deflect it. A double commit, a bit. Team of power, friendship. Doesn't matter. They might get the double touch. It's not going to be enough. It's going to crossbar out, and Washington's going to be able to recover. Get back possession here. So far, just sticking to the sidewall here. Woozy gets one soft touch, leading up to Durtho. Durtho's going to stick with it, get one more, get over one Washington player, and open net. Going to go for a little bit of style. Can't get over a Washington defender. And they're going to get back to the possession.
Woozy now moving up the side with the pass from Gil. They are managing to maintain just a sliver of side control from Washington. But no major shots on goal quite yet, except for the one that happens right under my breath. Durtho starting things off for the Broncos. 1-0, less than a minute in.
An absolutely nasty double touch to start off the game. That's the Durtho we have come to know and love, providing those spectacular plays right off the kickoff. Zach is going to find open net, and that's going to be the equalizer. Maybe about like 2 seconds after Boise State opens it up.
Sometimes these kickoff goals can just slide right by you. You don't really know what happens, but in this case, it's best just to move on and focus on the next play rather than kicking yourself too much for the last one. Kickoff. Gil is going to be looking to follow up on it. A lot of players trying to juke each other out, but Gil just waits patiently. It goes up into the crossbar. Now Durtho coming is going to elevate up, trying to contest with Zach. Boise State moving their way around the corner. Woozy for the follow-up and the second goal, putting the Broncos back in the lead.
Catching that defender in that flat-footed. Could have been a beautiful play shot right past him. Quickly put up Boise State 2-1 here. 3 minutes 45 seconds left. So after the kickoff, going to be looking to maintain the momentum here. Again, it's going to maintain possession. Going back into it. Gil's elevated. Looks at the touch. Was able to get a flip reset, but it's just too far below the ball to make anything happen. Now on the rotation back. Going to make a quick cut. Contest the ball. Send over to Boise State's corner here. Going to grab a quick 100. Now it's Woozy on the ball. Is going to be able to get a quick 50 and a contest. It's Gil off the backboard, getting a little bit of touch. Back to Durtho. Sends it a bit too far ahead to make anything of it.
Gil credited with a shot on goal. Now moves over to the other side, still trying to play a little defense. Ball goes past midfield marker as Bunker moving up, gets played over by Boise State. Boise trying to find some sort of clear. Woozy moves up and plays it from midfield. It's just a bit to the left, though, but that was a wide open goal.
That's to the outside. Gil looks to make the cut. Was able to get it. Durtho's going to receive the pass on the other side. There's going to be a pass right back to the Boise State backcourt here. Durtho's going to get a demo. Gil's going to be able to get it under one defender. Re-elevates back up, gets one touch. Boinker is going to be able to deflect it back down. Zach looking for the shot to net. Isn't quite able to find the angle. Gil's going to be able to get it clear. Go for the same pass again into the midfield. There is no Boise State offense to receive that pass. Now Woozy on the back corner. Get one touch, get over a second. This is looking for Washington. Oh, and a beautiful dunk. Is going to be able to find the way in the back of the net, though.
Ball right in front of the goal is punted back by Washington. Durtho moving back on the field, fill up on boost. Now going to look for the next play. He elevates up, takes control of it, finds split reset off the wall, but is not going to be able to carry on the play, unfortunately. Woozy, a shot from midfield right over Zach from Washington. And now here comes the follow-up from Boise State. Can they put it in? They sure can. Gil, the hero play from Boise State, putting them up to a 3-1 lead.
Beautifully played out by Gil here. Again, the soft touch allows Gil to keep the ball within close enough distance to really make a second touch on it and get that ball over the last defender. Beautifully well done by this Boise State Gil.
Woozy now moving off to decide to follow up on this kickoff. Ball makes a lot of forward momentum toward Boise State's goal. A bit of pressure being placed on the Broncos. Durtho clears it way upfield, but Washington is answering back and puts a shot on goal. It bounces crossbar right in front, and it just trickles in. Washington breathing a sigh of relief on that one.
I think it's good flip reset fake, getting fast to the ground there. Gil does manage to get a touch, but unfortunately is not able to bar it out. 3-2 here with the minute 18 seconds left. The Broncos still in the lead, however. Durtho's going to be able to get 100 here. Contested off the ceiling. Is not going to be able to get the touch they're looking for. Gil's going to get one soft. Try to keep it going with an air dribble. But a 50's going to push the ball out to the corner. It's up to Woozy now. Washington still maintaining possession of the ball. Is looking for a pinch. Not able to get it. Now it's up to Gil. Looking for a pass up to Durtho midfield. Perhaps a second touch. Gets a bit dunked, though. Now Durtho in the corner trying to play some defense. Gets bumped. Gil with a massive pinch to the backboard of Washington. Is anything going to come of it? There's not going to be a shot on net as the last 40 seconds of the game play out.
Sometimes I see a goal played out right in front of me, and I still don't know how it happened. These last two goals have been kind of squirrely, but Gil, nothing squirrely about that shot. Pushes it in to put Boise State back up to a comfortable 2-goal lead.
The meta kickoff strat here. Washington looking to make a play to develop. Isn't going to be able to do it. Durtho still with a lot of boost sticking on this wall. Goes for it. Looking to get a pass down. The double touch was denied a bit by Woozy himself. He's going to steal 100 boost. Still sitting on the side of the hole. Being a nuisance. Is able to get a touch. Keep it in the back line to Washington. Booker's going to try and look for a clear. Is going to be able to do it now. Looking for the back boost with only 9 seconds left to play. Washington's clock and opportunity is running out, but a backward pass and a shot down is going to be saved by Woozy, and it's the final second. Counts down. Boise State's going to take game number 1.
Few moments there, it looked like it might just be Washington's game to come back to. They pushed it back to 3-2, but Boise State ultimately got the win. I'm so surprised with the way that the ball just hung in front of that goal on the second Washington win, because I saw the first Washington player whiff on it, fly right past it. I'm like, oh no, is this even going to turn into a goal?
It was a bit rough. They ultimately end up getting it in anyway, so, you know, good on them for being able to convert it at the end of the day. But I believe in a best-of-3 matchup, it's game point at this point.
Yeah, we see 2 win counters on the UI up above, so that means it's going to be a best-of-3. So Boise State already positioned themselves in the lead, and with these best of threes, you know, a lot of Rocket League players value, you know, the longer best of fives or even best of sevens because it gives you a bit of that time, that bit of kind of, it kind of gives you that buffer, those first few games to find out the team's strategy, but Washington isn't going to have that luxury now.
And it's a different feeling than that ranked feeling as well. It's a bit of that more conditioning of the mind and the mental there. You can go to the distance. But enough of the rank talk. Starting to the game here. Dirt, though, on the back foot here, has to play some corner defense. Walker doing a little bit of weird low boost. Is going to be able to clear here. Zach's going to get a soft touch into the air. Gil is there to get a 50. Dirt, though, not quite committing yet on the smart play. Looking for the defense. The shot is a bit wide, not able to convert it. Woozy going to get a touch. Looking for Dirt on the sidewall there. He's going to set it now on the backboard. Vin's going to be able to get a defense. Dirtho trying to find the ceiling touch down for the pass. Woozy also trying to find the shot opportunity. Gil's not able to quite get the touch here. Vin not acting fast enough. Dirtho's going to be able to place the backward defense. Doesn't get the touch. Woozy's going to get demoed. But before that, it's going to be able to get the game or goal-saving defensive play.
Hey, in that case, I say the demo's well worth it. You prevent their goal and set up your own. You just got to be in the right place at the right time. So great shout out to Woozy. Even if he paid for a demo, quick off the respawn, he sets it up for Gil, pushes it into the upper left corner, and puts Boise State to the lead.
Took a bit longer than last time to get that first goal in, but nevertheless, taking that first goal lead is extremely important. Gives that momentum entirely up to Woozy. Now trying to get a bit of a Doomsday dish. Isn't going to be able to do it, but Dirtho's going to be there to finish and clean it all up. Now 2-0. The Broncos up with a pretty decisive lead.
Quite an angle, Dirtho put it up too. That was a very quick shot in the upper left corner again. Kind of hard for the other team to read. Off this kickoff, Gil wants a goal for himself, passes to Dirtho, and the follow-up off the crossbar. Woozy might be there for another follow-up, but Washington now has control of the ball. Dirtho makes his way back toward midfield, dribbles it toward, and the follow-up, and you know what? 5th time's the charm, I suppose.
You keep knocking at it, you keep trying, eventually you'll find it. The flick, the double touch was almost beautiful. Unfortunately, the clear was a clear, but it ultimately just leaving it in front of the net and an easy goal for Gil. And in my opinion, 3 is where it becomes difficult to find the comeback for. Woozy trying to find Dirtho a little bit, but still plenty of game left here. 3 minutes and about 16 seconds left to play. Gil trying to find a pass into the midfield. Dirtho's going to set it up off the backboard again, but Woozy's going to play it off. Not go exactly for it, but it's going to commit now. Dirtho with the shot into the midfield, not able to find it. Gets an accidental second touch. Gives it up to Washington offense. Is able to get one more, looking for a second. The 50 out from Woozy is going to play out. Vin gets a boom into the backboard. Gil gets one soft touch, now playing off of it into the back. The backboard from the sidewall. Woozy's able to go for one, but that's about it. Dirtho's elevated, now trying to play a bit of defense. Gets the one touch. Zach had the potential to get a pretty good shot on net. Not able to follow through though.
Bunker keeping the side control for Washington. Dirtho now ready to play off the wall. Finds his flip reset. Keeps on going. But the ball is grounded, but that's a lot of ground he gained. As he placed a shot on goal. Saved by Washington. Flip reset to keep the play going. Tries to bounce it off the ground. Doesn't find it.
Going up that second attempt, was not able to get anything to do with that. Woozy with the backflip contests, also not able to find anything. Zach is a 50 god at the current moment, now finding the passes to the midfield. A bump from Dirtho is going to prevent any shot being taken. Woozy's going to take one on the net off of a redirect on the sidewall, not able to find the back of the net, however. Now it's Washington with a shot from Zach. The flick was put right on top of Woozy for the save. Now Dirtho with possession, a little bit dangerous, sitting across friendly territory. Now it's Gil up, looking for Dirtho on the sidewall. Dirtho's going to get one into the midfield. Woozy's elevated with the shot. A 3-piece passing play from the Broncos. Beautifully executed.
All 3 team members working together, and if you couldn't hear, they actually kind of gasped in surprise themselves as the ball went in on how beautifully that play transpired. Bunker takes an early shot toward the goal. It is open, but Woozy now going to
Pinch.
Oh, Durtho with the redirect off to the side. Comes in, quick shot on goal, he finds it.
Playing a bit too fast for Washington to be able to react. Finds themselves in an awkward position in terms of defense. Kind of gets the catch, a bad catch. Leaves the ball right in the midfield, and before they can react, Durtho's right on top taking a shot you don't expect somebody to be able to find, but that angle. Durtho, you better expect a shot from basically anywhere on the pitch. Durtho pass out to Gil. Gil with the soft touch, trying to give it up to Woozy. Isn't able there. Now Durtho elevates with the boom. Woozy off the ceiling here, trying to find a touchdown. Is able to. And this team is turning into a pair of freestylers.
I'm not surprised at this point if they just let Washington score one, just so they can end it on a true Brazil. Because we're in that territory now.
That means you got to concede a goal, though. I don't know if BSU's looking for that to happen. Off the top of the sidewall, and almost another beautiful passing play to find Gil. Find their participation. Wasn't able to quite get it, though. Now trying to play a bit of defense. Washington only got 50 seconds left to come back from a 6-goal deficit. Some would call that impossible. It's not over till it's over, and Woozy's gonna make that 7 real quick.
He seems pleased with that one. I mean, he just makes ground. Spectacular use of that boost right after elevating him into last second, split-second adjustment. Finds the 7th goal for Boise State. Less than a minute to go. I would say it's probably a done and dusted deal for the Broncos.
Trying to get the redirect. Now it's up to Durtho. Durtho gets a bang. Looking for a sidewall. Is able to find the redirect defense. Zach's going to be able to clear it effectively. Durtho's going to pick up 100 real quick. Looking for a cut. Gil's going to get there first. Now one touch on the sidewall. Looking for a teammate with only 11 boosts. He's able to get one touch. Woozy now trying to find an interesting angle. Is going to be able to get it. Zach's going to get a big clear. And now the final 10 seconds of the game wind down. Vin with the beautiful pass in the midfield. Zach not able to take a shot. Boinker goes for one more. Looking for the Doomsy. Also isn't able to find it. As a bit of a triple commit from BSU. Trying to keep the ball alive in the final couple of seconds. Gets bumped. And that's Boise State taking the series 2-0.
Well, it looks like the Overwatch and now the Rocket League team haven't lost any pep in their step. It's great to see a nice win for the Broncos in that regard. And overall, Colin, what's standing out to you most about how the Broncos performed in that series?
Still just the synergy. It's sort of like I was talking in the pregame, wondering how Woozy was going to connect there. I'd seen Woozy and Preston and Durtho play as a 3-piece in the Summer LAN event that they participated in, but it's one of the things of you never really know until you see it repeatedly, and still seeing Woozy perform tonight and still connect with Gil and Durtho like they did. You know, it's like the team doesn't take a day off, and they perform exceedingly well, and it's looking a little scary for the west side of the CRL teams they're going to face.
Well, the Broncos season starts off well with 2 W's. We can only hope that when Boise State Broncos play Washington on the gridiron that it turns out just as well. But as for tonight, the Broncos go away with 2 wins, and we'll leave you with the top 5 plays of the game brought to you by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. More than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. Idaho Army National Guard is one of the best teams to join out there. Reach out to them on Twitch at iGuard Gaming. That's going to do it for us tonight, though. We hope you have a good night and enjoy your top 5 plays.
Net, however, now it's Washington's a shot all Zach the flick was put right on top of Woo's net, however. Now it's Washington's a shot all Zach the flick was put right on top of Woozy for the save. After through a possession, a little bit dangerous, sitting across friendly territory. Now it's Gil up, looking for Durtho on the sidewall. Durtho's going to get one into the midfield. Woozy's elevated with the shot. A 3-piece matching play. Pac-Man not acting fast enough. Durtho's going to be able to piss it back for defense. Doesn't get the touch. Woozy's going to get demoed. Before that's going to be able to get the game. Goal-saving defensive play.
Hey, in that case, I say the demo's well worth it. You bet their goal and set up your own. Off this kickoff, Gil wants to go for himself, passes to Durtho, and the follow-up ball off the crossbar. Lucy might be there for another follow-up, but Russian now has control of the ball. Durtho makes his way back towards the field. Rips it forward, and you know what? 5th time's the charm. I went in on how beautifully that play transpired. Winker takes an early shot for the goal. It is open for Lucy now. Bench. Oh, Durtho with the redirect off to the side. Comes in, quick shot on goal. He finds it.
It's a good dunk, though. Corner trying to play some defense. Gets bumped. Gill, a massive pinch. The backboard of Washington. Is anything going to come of it? There's not going to be a shot on net. It's the last 40 seconds of the game to play out.
Oh.